In this video, I'm going to talk about how does BGP behave differently with auto summary enabled or disabled. So I've got some notes here. Um, Auto summary is only enabled by default in the old versions. In the latest iOS, Cisco iOS versions, auto summary is disabled by default. So here, when auto summary is disabled, the routes advertised locally into the BGP table are not summarized to their classful boundaries. So meaning that, let's say this subnet here, when auto summary is disabled, this will not work. So, because this is not really a, I mean, because what I have in the routing table is actually /24 and this is /20, I mean /16, right? So let me actually show you that. And of course, I'm using this topology, very basic topology. R1 in AS1 and R2 is in AS2, and this is of course the network. And this is not true anymore. I can delete that. Oops. I use this diagram with the old, I use this, topology when I, created the previous video. But here I will just edit this. So 172.16.1.0. So yeah, this is the IP address or the subnet that is on loopback 0 on R1. So here, you see that this is actually /24. So going back to here, so like I said, this is not going to work because this is what we have in the routing table is actually /24. As you can see here, /24. So let me show you the BGP configuration as well here. And by default, uh, BGP is, auto summary is actually enabled by default. And we can verify that by running that command show run all and pipe that to section BGP. And then you will see here that auto summary is disabled by default again. So let me go back. Let me check our BGP configuration. So now I can just, so of course it is disabled by default. So even if I actually disable it, it will not show in the show run configuration here. Yeah. So now, and of course, we do have a BGP peering with R2. So we can verify that by doing this command here. Yeah, this is R2. So let's try to advertise this network into BGP and see if we can get, it will be advertised into BGP, right? And you see that it is not. So this statement here is true. So when auto summary is disabled, the routes advertised locally into the BGP table are not summarized to their classful networks. So you actually have to type the exact network and mask you have in the routing table so you can advertise it. So what I will do is basically correct the subnet. So I will remove this here and use the correct network and subnet mask and check BGP table again. So you see here that this network is locally originated or locally installed into the into the BGP table by R1 by looking at the next step, of course. And if we verify that from R2, you will see that it's being received, that route is being received by uh, via this next hop, which is R1. Okay, um, so let's try this. Let's try enabling auto summary. So do show, oops, I will remove that network statement. So we still have that network in the routing table, which is /24. So now I'm going to um, do this. So I'm going to actually make it work. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to enable auto summary, and then I will advertise this network, this classful network into BGP and see if it will work. So it works because we have that command under auto BGP process. So that's how BGP behaves differently with auto summary enabled or disabled. So we can actually just save that configuration. And of course, if we go to R1, the the uh, the classful network is being received by R1 here, /16 instead of /24 that we have in the routing table, right? Yeah, here. So it's /24 in the routing table, but /16 in the BGP table, and that's what we are receiving from on R2 as well. Okay, that's it in this video. I hope you found this informative. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.